Deep within Sri Lanka, there are ancient, isolated tropical rainforests that have remained almost completely untouched by modern civilization. These dense canopies hide an ecosystem teeming with highly adapted wildlife, from carnivorous pitcher plants to rare, vividly colored reptiles like this green and black viper. But the heavy machinery is closing in fast. Every day, massive tracts of this dense habitat are completely cleared, leaving behind nothing but fields of uprooted tree stumps. When those trees fall, we aren't losing known wildlife. Dozens of highly specialized animals are being eradicated completely out of sight, long before human eyes ever see them. And here is the brutal legal catch. You cannot petition a government to protect a habitat for an animal that technically doesn't exist. If an NGO or wildlife department has no scientific record of a species, they cannot allocate a single dollar to save it. Saving a rainforest requires a frantic race to find and officially document these unknown animals. That is exactly why I've joined a covert mission with local biologists to track down a rumored, completely undocumented tarantula. The first step in this process is field exploration. It means hiking through undisclosed, heavily guarded jungle locations for hours, enduring mosquito swarms and leeches, just hoping to spot a single rare specimen. Time is incredibly tight. Instead of finding live spiders, researchers often stumble upon empty, violently dug-out burrows. Because these locations lack official government rangers, illegal pet traders sneak in, dig up the exotic spiders, and sell them directly on the black market. Once a specimen is finally secured, we move to specimen collection and morphological examination. Most biologists kill the animal immediately for their laboratory work. Dr. Ranel Nanayakara takes a different approach. His team keeps the animal safely in a rescue center and waits patiently for it to die of natural causes. After its natural death, the dead specimen is carefully dissected and placed under high-powered microscopes to analyze every millimeter of its anatomy. This animated blueprint of a tarantula's anatomy shows exactly what they are looking for. We zoom in to isolate specific microscopic traits, like the friction pads on their legs, called stridulating organs, and the exact shape of their reproductive systems, to prove they are biologically unique. Pulling a spider out of the mud is only the starting line. Translating its physical body into hard, verifiable data is what builds the foundation for its eventual survival. That brings us to step 4, comparative analysis. You have to prove this new anatomy is completely distinct from every other known species on Earth. That requires local scientists to secure expensive international travel, physically visiting museums around the world to manually compare their specimen against historic archives. If the physical traits are too similar to an existing animal, they move to step 5, molecular analysis, using DNA sequencing as the ultimate genetic tiebreaker. Once you've confirmed you have a completely unique species, you write up the findings. Writing the research paper is straightforward. Surviving step 6, the publishing process, is the real barrier. For a species to exist, its discovery must be recognized by top-tier academic journals, which dictate scientific fact. Surviving this gatekeeping process is devastatingly expensive. Biologists often pay between $3,000 and $4,000 out of pocket just to publish. The poacher's shovel is a massive threat. But surviving the expensive, bureaucratic paywalls of the global academic system is the final hurdle an undiscovered species must cross to survive. You might be wondering, why spend thousands of dollars to publish a piece of paper? Why not just take all that money, give it to local guards, and have them patrol the trees? This flowchart illustrates the economy of discovery. A published paper acts as a catalyst, bringing researchers into the forest. This sparks global interest and unlocks NGO funding. That pressure forces the government to designate the area a protected reserve. And for the tarantula we were tracking, this process actually worked. Thanks to direct funding that bypassed the journal paywall, the spider is now officially recognized in the scientific record as Dhruv Rathee. But the stakes are still incredibly high. Right now, Dr. Ranil's organization has 40 completely unique animals, ranging from undiscovered snakes to rare, obscure mammals, all sitting in jars, trapped in scientific limbo, waiting for the funding to legally exist. Naming an animal finally pulls it out of the shadows and turns it into a legally protected entity. It proves that the single most powerful tool for saving a fragile rainforest is a peer-reviewed piece of paper.